watchers, how are y'all doing? This is your October 2020 Tarot and Astrology Reading. First, I'll be going over some aspects and transits that are happening for you this month, and then I'll be getting into your reading with the cards. For anyone that's new here, I'm Sarah. This is Cancer Capricorn Guidance. I am a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon, Libra Rising, and I'm here to bring you love, light, and guidance through tarot, astrology, and spirituality. In my description box, you can find my email. Feel free to reach out to me to schedule a personal reading. You can also find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can also find a couple different links to a couple different Spotify playlists I've made. If you're looking for some new music to get into or you're curious about what I listen to, feel free to check those out. All right, Cancers, let's get into some of these aspects and transits that are happening for you this month. On the 1st of October, we had a full moon in Aries. This was a big one. I think a lot of Cancers especially felt this sudden surge of emotion and energy, a very charged emotional energy. And I think that it had a lot to do with us coming to terms with what it is we really truly desire, what it is we really truly feel and like haven't addressed, or what it is we really want to start to put energy into, like something we want to start. So this full moon could have brought in a lot of energy, a lot of emotion for you, but I think it was good because it revealed a lot to our own selves about how we're really feeling, what we truly want out of something, how we want to start moving towards something. And I think a lot of this energy and clarity and realization, all these things that became illuminated with this full moon, really is going to push us forward for the rest of October until we reach the second full moon, of course. This full moon Aries is really going to give us a nice energy boost that will last us the rest of the month. And especially because the rest of the month is filled with a lot of earth energy. Like on the 2nd, for example, we have Venus going into Virgo. So this is a really good time to take all of that energy and acceleration from the Aries full moon and kind of start to put in some practicality and some grounding and some planning into it with that Venus Virgo. Venus is really about what we value and what we care about, and therefore what we put our time and energy into. So it's taking this full moon Aries, taking that energy, and then figuring out where we're going to direct it and how we're going to go about that. It's like this Venus in Virgo, it's a very good time to sit down and make some plans for things, make some schedules, make a budget, have a talk with someone you've been exploring a connection with, and kind of figure out whether you two are on the same page and want the same trajectory for this relationships. It's all those Venusian things, and taking that full moon Aries energy, but then grounding it in that Virgo energy and trying to make a plan for this action that you want to take. And then on the 4th, this is the big one, we have Pluto going direct in Capricorn. So Pluto went retrograde on April 25th. So all of the big upheavals and big changes we've seen happen around us since then, that's all due to Pluto, the outermost planet in our solar system, going retrograde in Capricorn. So we saw a lot of traditional things, Capricorn being that traditional sign. We saw a lot of those things that we take as givens, things that we look at as strong structures. We saw them crumbling down around us. That Pluto has that Scorpio energy, and it's just brings about a lot of change and transformation. And when it's retrograde, it really brings about destructive or very sudden change and transformation. So I think we saw a lot of upheavals in this retrograde, but now with Pluto going direct in Capricorn, I think that the dust is starting to settle a little bit. We're going to start to see things a little bit more clearly now that things have kind of settled, and we can start to look at, okay, how do we want to pick up the pieces? How do we want to start to put things back in order? How do we want to start to rebuild this in a stronger and more sustainable and sturdy way? Like we saw how weak those towers that crumbled actually were. So now we're looking at how we want to rebuild this Capricorn style very consistently and pragmatically and intentionally so that, these are stronger structures moving forward. And then on the 9th, Cancer, we have Mars, which is still retrograding in Aries, squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So Cancer, you've probably been feeling the effects of that Mars retrograde in Aries. And so with it squaring Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn now wants to start to rebuild and move forward really consistently and slowly, while Mars is retrograding in Aries and it just wants to keep headbutting it no matter how many times it takes. I think that Mars retrograde Aries wants to keep doing things, but starting to realize that we need to do things in a different way. So I think this square is going to cause some tension in terms of that motivation and that progress forward. But that Pluto in Capricorn is going to give us a little bit of, okay, so we do need to review how we charge at this, and we might need to do it in a little bit more steady, pragmatic way like Capricorn over here. So Cancer, on the 11th and the 15th, we have the Sun in Libra squaring Jupiter in Capricorn and the Sun in Libra squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So with the Sun in Libra squaring these outer planets that have recently gone direct in Capricorn, I think these outer planets are really going to want us to change and grow and expand really steadily. But I think that Sun in Libra squaring it is going to make us want to stay in this place of comfort. And it comes from a place of ego where we're like, I'm comfortable here and I've done everything I could to get here, and I'm good here. Like, I don't really want to cause any disruption and get out of balance again, because like I finally found my balance here. But I think this Jupiter in Capricorn, this Pluto in Capricorn, they really are going to want to challenge you to rethink that and think about the discomfort that is required of you to be able to grow and expand and make these changes in your life. I think this Sun in Libra is really in that Sun place of ego where it doesn't want to change because it's uncomfortable and it's difficult and it's a struggle. But these outer planets are really going to want to challenge you to think about how you can change for the better and how necessary change is, even when it causes a lot of discomfort. It's asking us to be ready for these bigger changes and to lean into them and embrace them. On the 13th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio. So this is going to be the typical Mercury retrograde where, yes, you can expect disruptions in technology or travel or communication. But I think this specific Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is going to be really about some old, deep emotions being dug up. Scorpio can be a very secretive and, a sign that has a lot of deep emotions but doesn't really show them. So any emotions that you've really been suppressing or holding back or really not addressing, I think those things are going to come up and they're going to be thrown in our face so that we really can face them and try to finally work through them, close things off, bring finality to situations so that we can finally close doors and stuff. I think Mercury retrograde is really going to bring up some old stuff that we've been suppressing, anything that has not been resolved, especially in the realms of emotions, because Scorpio is that water sign. It's very deep and intuitive. So I think there's going to be a lot of heavy emotional energy. So just be aware of that. So any heavy emotions, anything that's not been resolved that has to do with something that really goes deep, those things are really going to be coming up. And I think it's going to be really important for us to lean into these heavy emotions, lean into these feelings, lean into what this is trying to show us and teach us so that we can look at it really honestly, we can work through it, we can purge it, and then we can move on from it. On the 16th of October, we have a new moon in Libra. This is going to be a really good time for you, Cancer, to try to clear out some old energy, any residue, anything that's really been kind of stuck to you that you need to shed off, shake off anything that's really remaining that's not good energy anymore, energy that's not serving you, energy that does not make you feel balanced. It's time to really shake it off, clear it out, and make some new space for some new things to come in. New moons are really about thinking about what you want to set intentions for and then what you need to clear out in order for those new things to come in that you want. So I think this is a good time to really get our inner selves, our moon, our inner selves in balance, clear out any energies that don't make us feel balanced, don't make us feel in alignment within ourselves. And so we can push that energy out so that new energy can come in for us. On the 19th of October, we have Mars retrograding in Aries, squaring Jupiter in Capricorn. Now again, this is one of those squares with those outer planets in Capricorn, and I think this is going to cause a lot of tension in terms of our growth forward. Jupiter is really about expansion and growth, and now that it's really trying to in Capricorn, really slowly, steadily, pragmatically, that Mars retrograde in Aries is going to want to, headbutt and push things forward in a really aggressive way or impulsively, or Mars retrograde Aries is not ready to grow and make progress. So Jupiter in Capricorn is really going to challenge us to think about how we really can grow and expand pragmatically and consistently, while that Mars in Aries retrograde is going to want to challenge that in turn and say, no, I want to do this my way. So there is going to be some tension there with our ability to really grow and push forward and expand ourselves. But I think this is a good time to look at and rethink about how we move forward. Is it steadily? Is it aggressively? Is it sporadically? Maybe we could be doing something different to kind of move forward in a different way. Maybe we've been kind of stuck in a certain way. And if we try to think about how we can do something differently, we might get unstuck and start to actually see that progress that we've been fighting for. On the 21st, we have Venus in Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn. I think that this one is going to be a bit about luck in terms of that Venus Virgo. Whatever you've been putting a lot of time and energy and effort into, you might see a little bit of good news or something come of it very suddenly. If you've been putting a lot of time into, let's say, a side hustle, You might start to see a little bit of income come in from that. If you've been exploring a relationship and putting a lot of time and energy into that, you might start to see a shift in that relationship in terms of maybe casual to serious. This Pluto in Capricorn is going to bring about a little bit of change, and in a good way, something that brings a little bit of stability in for you. On the 24th, we have Venus in Virgo trine Saturn in Capricorn. So again, whatever you've been putting your time and energy and effort into, I think Saturn in Capricorn is going to give you a bit of stability in your plan and movement forward. I think it's going to make us think a little bit about how we make our money and if that method is really working for us, if the job we're doing is really working for us. And I think it's going to reward us too if we have already put these plans in place for like long-term goals. You know, Saturn is that planning for the long term and how we work towards our goals. If you have been putting in that work, I think you're going to be rewarded here with this trine. And then on the 27th, we have Venus entering Libra. Of course, Venus is very at home in the sign of Libra, so this is a very good time to get in touch with your romantic side, bring some Libra interior design into your spaces, rearrange your furniture, be really romantic with your partners, do something really nice for them. This is a good time to just get into that flow and harmony, that beauty, that luxury, all the Venusian Libra things. Just have fun with it and try to relax and do something nice for yourself. And then on the 31st, on Halloween, we have our second full moon of the month. This is very rare. This is a blue moon. It's the second full moon of the month, and the full moon is in the sign of Taurus. I think this full moon is really going to make us think about what makes us feel safe and secure and then what doesn't, and how we want to shift our environment or what we're doing so that we can feel more safe and secure. There may be things that we're a little bit too attached to that we really need to let go of, that aren't bringing us in the stability and the security and the predictability that we kind of need. I think this is a good time to look at what doesn't make us feel safe, what doesn't bring in stability for us, and really think about letting go of those things. It's a good time to get grounded within ourselves, to ground ourselves in our environments, to really think about, is this environment serving me? Do I feel safe here? Or do I need to move to a different space where it provides me with more security? All right, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed that aspect and transit breakdown for the month. I hope that you'll be using that to maybe help you navigate through some of these energy shifts that you might be experiencing this month. There's some heavy stuff going on. There's a lot happening in October. I hope that also set the stage for this reading. Maybe some of the same messages might be coming up. But Cancer, how have y'all been feeling? I think this Mercury retrograde is gonna bring up some stuff for you, Cancer. I feel like you might be in your heavy emotional self right now. I feel like you've been going through a bit of some heavy emotions. I think that new moon might be something for you too, because it might be a good time to, I think with this Mercury retrograde and the new moon in Libra, I think there's going to be some clarity coming to you really suddenly, and it's going to bring about heavy emotions where you come to terms with something, you come to this true realization about something, and it just overwhelms you, and it feels really emotional to be really realizing all these things. Like, you just get this moment of clarity. It doesn't have to be like one moment, you know. You could be experiencing this throughout the month, but I think there's going to be some heavy emotions that you might need to work through as you're finally coming to terms with something, or finally starting to understand something and see something that you didn't before. Yeah, I feel like Cancer are going to have a tough one because Scorpio season plus Scorpio Mercury retrograde. But Cancer, I do know that all those outer planets going direct in Capricorn are going to be good for you. It's going to bring in a lot of stability for you. And Capricorn is a lot of things that happen to Capricorn. Cancers feel a lot of Capricorn energy. It's like your sister sign. So that is going to bring in some stability for you and help you out a little bit with these heavy emotions you might be feeling this month. But let's get into the reading. That was just something I was picking up on. Alright, Cancer. Any messages for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever placements you may have in your chart, whatever energy you've been vibing with. Any messages for Cancer for the month of October 2020? Messages for Cancer. Messages of love, truth, healing, light, forgiveness. There it is, the Three of Swords. Any messages for Cancer? Messages of truth, clarity, understanding. Interesting. So for the overall energy, Cancer, we have the Ten of Cups. This is, okay. I think the Ten of Cups is here because this is something that you are dreaming about. Maybe you're trying to figure out what yours is, what it looks like for you. Like, Ten of Cups is about like that emotional fulfillment, that happiness. Oh, also this could have to do with like family, happy ending. So there may be some stuff with your family that's coming up. Yeah. This is interesting. Okay, I might come back to this, but this definitely is giving me family vibes. I think that there's something to do with your family that's coming up, and I think you're dreaming about the kind of family that you want, the kind of family that would make you feel fulfilled, whether it's your own or not so much your own. I think what I'm getting is just like you want the happy ending, but I don't think that that's what's occurring right now. I don't think you're experiencing it right now. Because the Three of Swords is here and the Seven of Pentacles is here. I think you're really hurt over an investment you made. I think you put a lot of time and energy into something, and you're like waiting and waiting for something to really come of it. Maybe this is about the fact that you put a lot of time and energy into your relationships to try to find this kind of like fulfillment and happiness and like emotional fulfillment from your relationships. You put a lot of time and energy into them, but you always end up feeling hurt and heartbroken, or you're hurt that you're still waiting for fruition to come from a seed that you planted. You're still waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for the pain to stop. You're waiting for your happy ending. It's just like you're waiting. You made an investment of some sort. You manifested something and you're waiting for it to come to fruition now. But I think there's a lot of hurt behind it, where it's like maybe a sorrow or a hopelessness that you're not going to get what you paid for. You're not going to get what you invested in. You're not going to get a return on this. There's definitely a lot of pain associated with this. I'm going to get clarification for the Three of Swords. See if there's something specific. Clarification for the Three of Swords for Cancer. Clarification for the Three of Swords. I'll take both of them. Because I have the Five of Swords and the Moon reversed. Yeah. I think there was some fighting, some argument, some fight that happened, whether it was internal or external with someone around you, and it led to some feelings coming to the surface. I think some feelings that were suppressed have been revealed or are going to be revealed. Yeah, that's some Mercury retrograde stuff. There was some kind of argument. There's some kind of pain that was caused. Cancer. Someone caused you a lot of pain and you're still holding that pain in your heart. You've been carrying it around for a long time. And I think very recently or very soon, how you feel is going to come to the surface, and it's going to come out Cancer style, where Cancers bottle things up for a really long time, and then something that doesn't have much to do with it will set them off and everything will come pouring out, and Cancer spit fire. Like, not in a good way, like they will rip you apart. Because they were holding it in for so long, and it was like this almost resentment. It's like this pain that they were holding in their heart, and I get like a little bit of resentment, and it came out really fiery. There was a fight, there was an argument, there was a blow up of some sort, and a lot of feelings, everything that was being repressed, whether in you or another person or both of you, everything that was repressed really came up. It came out, it came to the surface, things were revealed, things became clear, you had some realizations. Yeah, definitely. The moon, this could be the new moon, that new moon, or the full moon on the 1st, or the full moon on the 31st. This has a lot to do with like these moon cycles really bringing about a lot of clarity and understanding, things coming to the surface, things being revealed. Yeah, some things were revealed, and it came in the form of like there was a fight, there was an argument, it was aggressive, some feelings were hurt, some words were said. I'm not sure if, Cancer, you were feeling this way and then this happened, or this happened and now you're feeling this way, you're feeling really sorrowful and carrying around the sting of that. But I think it has to do with you carrying around this pain and resentment, and then it coming out really suddenly. And now some things have been revealed, and you have a deeper understanding now of what's going on. And I think the other person does too, because I don't think they knew that you were in that pain and that they caused you that maybe. But I definitely think that whatever this pain was, it has something to do with the fact that you invested a lot into this connection or relationship. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. It could be anyone. This could be a romantic person, someone you've romantically connected with. Could be a friend. Could be a family member. There was something that you put a lot of time and energy and effort into, and you're really hurt because it did not bring about fruition. I think you were just waiting and waiting and waiting for this relationship to serve you in the ways that you've served it. Like, you've put in a lot of time and effort, and this other person hasn't, and that's what's left you really hurt and resentful, and that's what caused this argument or fight to happen. Yeah, Cancer. I think also here with these wands, the Seven of Wands reverse and the Page of Wands reverse. I think for a long time you were really defensive, but I think you're starting to let that guard down again. I think for a long time you maybe kind of gave someone the silent treatment, maybe took a step back and stopped trying so hard. Oh, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, it's like you were waiting, and holding on to this, and I think all of a sudden you're gonna start to let go. You were fighting really hard to keep this going, to keep it alive, to get it off the ground, to get it going somewhere, to get it functional again, to get it resolved. There was something like you were fighting for a long time, and now suddenly you're just like, you know what? I don't want to try anymore. I've waited a long time for this investment in this relationship, this friendship, this relationship I have with a family member. I've tried, I've put a lot into this, and it's not giving me anything back, and I'm done trying. I've exerted so much energy trying to put something into this, and it's not coming back to me in the ways that I need. And I think you're finally starting to not put so much energy into this, Cancer. I think you're finally taking a step back and not going to waste your energy anymore. And with this Page of Wands reverse, I think this is you being like, yeah, I did have a passion for this, but I don't know if so much anymore. I've kind of lost the spark and the inspiration that I had from this relationship. I kind of lost the desire to really put time and energy into this. I think you were really passionate about it for a long time, but when something isn't serving you for the longest time, you lose interest because it's really not helping you or serving you. And I think this is you realizing that you wasted a lot of your energy. You could never really get this off the ground. It's like a failed passion project in a way. Yeah, if this isn't about a connection, I could see it as you're really hurt because you put a lot of time and energy into a project or a job or something, and yeah, and now you're just gonna stop trying because it's not serving you anymore. It's not getting you where you wanted to go. It's not yielding the results that you expected, so you're kind of trying to stop putting energy into it and time into it because it's not working. And you're looking at it now like, oh, that's kind of a failed passion project. I never really got it off the ground. I never really put some stability and actual I never actually got it going. Like, it never turned into a real life reality. So I'm kind of letting it go now. And I think that's another pain that you're kind of coming to terms with. Cancer, if this is about a relationship or marriage, I think you're starting to question your commitment to it. I think that you're starting to feel really stuck. And that's either because you made this commitment and now you feel like you have to carry it out, or because you put all this time and energy and effort into this and you're like tricking yourself into thinking like, I'm committed to this and I'm tied to this and now I can't be released, like I'm actually stuck here. Yeah, I think you're questioning also. I think whatever this was, it caused you so much pain that it's making you kind of give up on all the ways that you used to try to bring instability for yourself, the ways you tried to seek relationships, and like what you put your time and energy into in terms of relationships with people and other people that you invested in. And I think it's really making you kind of like question marriage, like question whether you want like that kind of commitment or marriage or like family or things like that. I think it's making you think about like, what if that's not what I want at all, and these kind of big commitments really just make me end up feeling stuck. Oh, I'm getting a whole nother thing. So I think recently, Cancer, there was a fight where things came to the surface and like feelings were revealed about something, and it left you feeling really hurt. Or maybe the other person was feeling really hurt because they or you are waiting and waiting and waiting for some kind of fruition to come from this relationship, something to come from this connection, for this connection to turn into something stable and long term. But I think either you or this other person that's been trying is starting to give up because they're not seeing that it's going to go anywhere. And it just feels like something that fizzled out. Like there was passion there, but it never got off the ground. It never went anywhere. It never really got, turned into something. And it kind of hurts now. It stings because like we watched it fizzle out. There was some energy there, but we never like put it into like practicality and tried to turn it into something. And now you feel I feel like you're like questioning now. You're like, wait, I don't know if I even want that kind of commitment. Like, what if I dodged a bullet here? What if this, or if there's still this potential on the table, you're like, what if I just feel stuck if I make this commitment to this person? Maybe this other person is really waiting for a commitment or like a more steady relationship to come from this kind of connection that you're sharing with someone. But you haven't been putting in the energy and it's starting to fizzle out, and you're thinking about how you don't want it because that kind of stability and commitment just makes you feel like, oh no, I would feel stuck in that. And it's making you question that a lot, like whether or not you want that kind of stability and commitment that maybe this other person is hoping for. Or maybe that you've been so hurt in the past from all the energy you put into things that didn't go anywhere and didn't turn into anything, all these investments you made to things that didn't turn out to be long-term commitments. They didn't provide that long-term stability that you were expecting. And so now you're questioning what that means, what that commitment is, like what it is. Do I want it? Is it part of my future? Is that what's going to make me happy and fulfilled? I think you're questioning all of it. You're like, am I just going to feel stuck in that? Yeah, am I going to be happy from something like that? I think you're just questioning the whole thing and it's really tripping you up. Cancer, this is intense. I'm going to pull one more card just to see if there's any other messages in this for you. Oh, I got two. Okay, so the Judgment and the King of Swords reverse fell out. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting, there's gonna be some kind of action that's taken. This judgment is gonna be the decision you make of some sort, or the decision this other person makes. There's gonna be some kind of decision that happens. There's a judgment happening. Where either you decide how you feel about this and what you want to do with your future, you decide to stop putting time and energy into this thing that's not going anywhere. This other person decides to stop putting time and energy into this connection because it's not going anywhere, and they're the ones that have been putting in all the time and energy. There's going to be some kind of judgment that's made, and it has to do with something that I think whoever makes this call it's going to come off really cold and mean and dismissive and very like King of Swords reverse. It's going to sting. It's going to come from a place of like bitterness and like, yeah, like the King of Swords reverse is like very cold, controlling energy. Like, I'm making this decision, done, that's what I said. I'm getting like an older father type figure, especially with the Hierophant too. Getting a little bit of father energy from this. There's some kind of decision that gets made, and it comes off the person, whoever made the decision, it's going to be really cold, and it's going to cut some people off or hurt some feelings, I think. Yeah, this is intense for sure. Cancer, wow. I'm going to pull 3 cards of advice for you. Okay, I'll take that. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. 2 other messages of advice for Cancer. Ooh, okay. Any other messages for Cancer? Okay. Wow. So we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the 5 of Pentacles, and Death. Wow, Cancer. Okay. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles reverse is definitely like, there might have been an opportunity here, but whoever was waiting and waiting and waiting, the other person that kept this person waiting for this thing to come into fruition, they lost their opportunity. There was a missed chance. There was a missed opportunity here. There was something there, and that seed could have been planted, but it never got anywhere. It didn't grow because only one person was nurturing this. And whoever that person was is really bitter and resentful, and all of that came up. All of that came out in a fight of some sort that, you know, if this is you, Cancer, it's like, I put in all this time and energy into this. It's not going anywhere. I wanted something with you. I wanted the commitment with you, but you felt like that would just make you feel stuck. And you missed the opportunity. You missed your chance because I'm walking away now. Or Cancer, this is the other person where they were waiting on you. They wanted a commitment from you, and you couldn't give them that. And you're questioning whether or not you want that kind of commitment, and whether or not it makes you feel good, or that kind of relationship commitment makes you feel stuck. Whatever it is, there was a missed opportunity. Someone missed their opportunity. Might have been you. There was something that could have come from this. There was something that wanted to happen here, but it didn't, because one person was putting in the energy and the other person was not. And that other person missed their chance. The opportunity fell through. It's not there anymore. And whoever feels like they missed this opportunity, they're going to be feeling the effects of that. They're going to feel left out in the cold. They're going to feel lonely. They're going to feel abandoned by you, because whoever makes this decision, it's going to feel really cold. It's going to feel like shit, because Cancer, I think you had okay, Cancer, I'm just going to go with, you are the one who held the bitter resentment and was waiting for this to come into fruition. You held all this bitter resentment. You're waiting for this to for something to come of this. You give up. You start to give up on it. You're like, this isn't going to happen. This was just like a fizzled out connection and never got anywhere. There's a missed opportunity. And now I'm questioning the kind of commitment that I want and whether it's worth it. And now making a call to cut someone off because they didn't come through for me and this didn't turn into anything. And maybe, you know, Mercury retrograde is bringing this person back. This thing happened a while ago. Now this person's coming back to talk to you, and you're like cutting them off. You're like, no, we're not doing this because you missed your opportunity, and you have to deal with the effects of that. If you're feeling lonely now, if you're feeling like I left you out in the cold, that's what happens when I tried so hard. I put so much investment of myself into this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it was, and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. It didn't turn into something. And now I have to move on from this because I'm still on the road to finding my happiness, and this clearly isn't it for me, so I have to leave this behind. It's not like there's anything here anyway. We both missed our chances. We have to move on. Like, maybe you, Cancer, are feeling lonely, like, because you know you had to do this and it's going to leave you feeling lonely. Maybe you were holding on to this because you were just lonely and didn't want to let this person go. But one or both of you are really going to be feeling the effects of this decision that gets made. But with the Death card, I don't want this to be ominous. It feels really ominous. But I think that whatever this decision that gets made, it's going to be the death of a part of you, Cancer, and I think it's going to be a good thing. I think you're really letting something die. You're letting this connection go. You're letting an old part of yourself die. You're letting an old mindset die, an old way of thinking about things. You're letting old desires die. Maybe you're stepping into a totally new mindset where you're like, I don't even want that anymore. These are the new things that I want. This is the new happiness that I'm chasing. I'm definitely feeling like a chapter is ending. A cycle is closing here where something is boom. Like you made a decision and this is so powerful that it's pushing you into a completely new era for yourself. You cutting this person off or making this decision where this opportunity is done, it's gone and I gotta move on. I think you are like moving on and letting this die and leaving this in the past. You planted this seed and it didn't start growing and now you're just gonna let it die. That's not going to get anywhere off the ground. And I think Cancer, what's not ominous about this reading for me is that the overall energy is the 10 of Cups. And I think it's because this whole thing happened for you so that you could realize that you need to rethink about what your 10 of Cups is and what you want to move towards and what the journey that you're on is and what it is you're truly searching for. And sometimes when things don't pan out and things just leave you hurt, it's best to just leave them in the past and keep moving and keep looking for that 10 of Cups. There was a missed opportunity here and you're letting this die. You're letting it go. You're like, it's done. There's nothing else to do. I'm done here. And you're moving on because you're still on your journey, on your road to finding your 10 of Cups, finding what it is that truly makes you happy and fulfilled and joyful. And I think you're realizing that this might not be it. Or maybe what this was or what you thought you wanted, it's not what you want anymore. You don't think it's what's going to actually make you feel fulfilled. It's not what you're chasing anymore. But whatever this was, there was a missed opportunity and you're just leaving it behind. You're leaving it in the past and moving on, moving towards your better, brighter future. All right, Cancer, I'm going to pull one last card for you. It is from the I Am Everything deck. It's really beautiful and simple. And one last oracle card to top off this reading for Cancer. One last message for Cancer regarding this spread. Oh, I am whole. I am perfectly created. I am a wonderfully unique individual. Every lesson I have learned, every risk I have taken, and every achievement I have made contributed to who I am. Because of that, I am whole. Cancer, I'm going to leave you with that message. I'm not even going to explain it. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed doing this for you. This was really, really deep and heavy, but there were a lot of important messages here for you. So I really hope you got something out of this. And if you did, please leave comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. Cancer, I love you guys. I hope you survive the rest of this Mercury retrograde Scorpio. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Libra season and a wonderful Scorpio season. And I will see you in the next reading. Thank you for watching.